Hey, yo, this is Isaiah Rashad. Come check me out on the Bootleg Kev show, talking shit to Kev. You know what I'm saying? Generally making his life way worse than it would be.
All right, man, look, Bootleg Kev show, special guest. Finally, we got a new album from this guy. I feel like every time I've ran into you for the last, X amount of years, I'm like, yo, what's up with the music? What's up with the music? Man, we need it. We need it. Yeah. Finally, we're here.
We here now.
And congrats on just the success of the album and the tour, man. We were just talking the tours. It's sold the fuck out, man.
Yeah, it's news to me, but...
Congrats, bro. Yeah. I think a misconception that a lot of people make, including myself, is that the delay for your new music was a TDE thing, but it was really on you. Like you weren't done.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's about like when you turn it in, start rolling, you can't change nothing. So you gotta take your time, going back and forth with motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Going back and forth with your homies, your team, and all that. And it just be on whenever I want to do it.
Can we get you closer to the mic, Isaiah?
It be on whenever I want to do it. My bad.
I'm like seeing Cook over there turning it up like.
Yeah.
So for you, like, personally, what did you go through since the last album? Like, because, to take that much time away, I'm sure you had to get re-inspired. Was there personal stuff you had to get through to kind of put yourself into another creative place to want to do an album?
I guess I'm always recording stuff. Mm-hmm. And because I just like doing this shit. And so we always have like a batch of songs. And from time to time.
Drop the weed.
Yeah, from time to time, party foul. From time to time, you'll like hear a song and it's like, this sounds like an album track. So you put it aside. And then that shit just happens over months. And then after a while, you get to a point where you're like, okay, I got 5 or 6 songs that really sound like it's an album. It's like, okay, maybe it's time for me to start making an album. And that's how it be.
How many, like, the pool of songs that you had to pull from to, like, pick from the album? Because you say you've been recording this whole time.
I wouldn't call them songs. I call them, like, scratches.
Ideas.
Yeah, so it'd be, like, songs, maybe, like, 20. Like, scratches, maybe, like, 100.
So like 100 ideas or 100 like attempts to like get something going.
Just doing shit. Doing shit in the studio. I used to take like those sessions, 8-hour, 12-hour sessions, and used to think, man, I need to make a song every time. And it was like, no, just get off as many ideas as you can in the studio. You got to go back to the studio. You might as well go back with something almost partially formulated, something that you like. Just finish that shit.
Yeah.
And that's how it happens.
Talk about just kind of the evolution from album to album for you, sonically. Like where do you? Because I feel like each album has kind of been an evolution of like your first project tape, whatever we're calling.
Yeah, Sylvia.
Yeah, whatever we're calling Sylvia. Was that an album or was that a tape?
It was
a classic, is what it was.
Thank you, but yes. I call it it's a demo to me for real because it was the first 14 full songs that I made. Me and Top had went through this thing where I sent him stuff. And I guess at the time, I didn't realize it and he didn't realize it. They were just scratch ideas. And I sent them back to see what do you want me to do to it or what do you think of it type of shit. Mm-hmm. But I hadn't went beyond that stage till Sylvia. And that was me getting inspiration from everything that I like had been around and liked and I was emulating at the time from everybody from OutKast to Tyler.
Scarface, everything,
Wayne, all that shit. And then the Sun's Tirade is me trying to filter out those influences. But I still like that sound. And I used to think that I had to change sound from album to album. And I'm like, like all my favorite artists, soul singers, classic shit, jazz shit. I'm like, they make different variations of their shit. But after a while, they start making like a subgenre from that. And I'm like, I want to do that. So I started building on that with the Sun's Tirade. And then with this one was like less... Like it was even more filtered out of it, other influences. And it was like me just doing my shit.
So this is like
more like my sound. It sounds like you gotta identify my sound off this. Like versus the last project, the producers would just send me like a jazzy beat because that was like the stereotype. I feel like now if this one they'll understand
kind of more
for.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, no, like the Isaiah Rashad type beat on YouTube definitely has to be now. Jazzy.
Yeah,
but not. But that's what I'm saying. Like this album definitely there's more bounce to it. There's more, you know what I'm saying?
Without losing that shit though.
Without losing what people love you for.
Yeah, that was important to me.
Yeah, and I also think too, like some of the features you picked for this album are dope. Like Jay Worthy's dope, like super underrated artist.
Love Worthy.
Duke is dope. Like, what was like for you, like, you know, having for people who, you know, you have a cult following.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. People are like people been waiting for this album.
Yeah.
So how careful were you with like who made the album?
I try to trust my gut on, I guess, knowing that there's a core, like there's a cult following, and I think even inside of that cult though, there's a core amount of them that like understand me how I feel like I understood the artists I like growing up, and like so they got patience, not just in time, but like with experimenting with sound. They there for the journey, like 10 projects deep type of shit. And then there's other ones who have an idea of me, respect to them, but I had to bypass that and think about, man, I want to talk to some new people. I want to get to know some new people when we go on the road, and not to say the same people, but I don't want to bring necessarily the exact same crowd. So that went into it, and I also like knew that like when I put my stuff out, that it was going, for good or bad, it was gonna get some attention, and I was like, why not share it with people I like doing this shit with?
Right.
Producers to the Rip who did the artwork, to the homies who helped me A&R and pick the tracks, and the features was just all the homies,
organic,
or people who I looked up to and reached out in that way.
Was there anything that like almost made the album that didn't make the album? Maybe a feature that came in too late, or a record that like maybe the
everything
almost didn't make the album?
Didn't make it?
No, I'm saying was there something that didn't make it that was like because maybe the sample didn't get cleared last minute?
Anything that didn't make it is probably because of the sample or because it wasn't finished.
That's fair.
Because everything is like interchangeable. Like I was trying to go for, to me, like a steady 7, 8 if I was judging it off my head for every one of them, like every individual song. On some like nerd shit.
Right.
And when I played it back, I'm like, okay, this is, as long as ain't no 6 in there, and it's at averages 7, 8. I know if you don't like it, you just don't like it, and if you like it, you gonna love it. And that's how I just went about the whole project.
Yo, I randomly went to Chattanooga, when we were in Atlanta, to shoot a music video with my artist, because my friend's family has like a farm in the middle of Chattanooga.
Sounds like Chattanooga.
I don't even know it's like outside of Chattanooga, but I
like
drove
Fort Oglethorpe or Ottawa.
It's like in the middle of the forest is where my boy's property is. Yeah. But I was like, next time I see Isaiah, I gotta be like, man, I drove through Chattanooga.
Did you eat anything? With like
some fast food? I'm
just mad that when you came up, you had me come up here and talk about Chattanooga, and you brought up Chattanooga, that you said the only thing you can describe it was the middle of nowhere.
It was forest. It was just a lot of trees and
then now nobody's gonna understand what Chattanooga is about.
Well, listen, if you're in Atlanta ever, it's a hop, skip, and a jump. You know, it was like a 2-hour drive.
It's a 2-hour drive.
Yeah, bring Chattanooga some tourism. What is there to do there outside of have great Southern food? And what I did was
spice that up.
I mean, we just did shit in the we did some like,
it's chill. I mean, it's an aquarium.
It's an aquarium.
Aquarium. It's a zoo. It's good for the kids. It's good for fam. You know what I'm saying? Don't bring your bullshit to Chat. Bring your family to Chat.
It's a family town.
Family town.
Good place to raise a family.
If you're doing that, yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. You and Kenny Beats got a crazy chemistry.
Dog.
I think Kenny's probably the most underrated producer in hip hop. When we talk about like the big
he
names.
has a cult following.
No, his following's insane. Shout out to Twitch, because those Twitch people they're a different type of dedicated. But
Chat.
But he's a beast. Talk about your guys' just chemistry and how did that relationship start?
Me and Kenny been knowing each other for probably like 5 years, and when he first started sending me beats or playing me beats, I ain't like none of them, and they were like similar to the ones that he made right now, but like they weren't exactly of the same. He hadn't had, I guess, whatever lessons that he got to get here, he hadn't had those all the way. But then I heard his shit with Key, the project, and I was like, damn, I want something. Mind you, I only know Kenny. I wasn't thinking about Kenny Beats because I don't even think Rory had introduced me to him like that. Right. And it was like a while ago. So when I'm like, bro, I want to get some beats from Kenny Beats. He's like, that's Kenny. And I'm like, that's Kenny? He's like, yeah. So I went and saw Kenny on the Humble. And I came back and I'm like, can you help me? And then
that's wild.
He was he fucked with my shit, so he was enthused to even like do the shit. We both Tauruses. So it'd be a challenge.
It's a tourist connection.
Yeah, I guess it's more like we both like a challenge.
Talk about this record with Uzi, man. Uzi's obviously he's kind of like a walking enigma. I feel like he's kind of like a real life like character.
He pulled up to the music video like that.
I don't doubt he did.
I've seen him twice, and I think the first time I seen him, we were at the Hip Hop Awards for rehearsals, like 2016, and he was like that, but he was way more like bouncy. He's still bouncy, but it was like super young, and now it's like you just knew he came into the room. It's kind of crazy. It was kind of, I don't know. It's some real. I ain't never met nobody like that. That shit tight though.
You know, I think he's got like an aura. There's very few people I've been around that I feel like they have like an aura that you like.
I say he's a professional.
No, I mean, yeah.
It seems like a professional.
And he's not a nice kid too. He's not on like some like weirdo like rapper shit. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely professional. Yeah.
On this album that you've had like, I feel like on your last two projects you had some vulnerable moments, like records like Heavenly Father. I don't feel like we got as much of that on this project. Was there a reason?
It's wrapped around other shit. It's in there. It's just wrapped around other shit. I say like Don't Shoot. I say All Herb for me is like it's just like poetry, but it's a lot of shit in there. A lot of like All Herb is really about all the shit is about emotional like breakups and all that type of shit. It's just wrapped in stuff that is more about you feeling it. And if you a nerd, you gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, use the word lightly, like I was. You know what I'm saying? Writing that shit down, deciphering that shit. But if you just want to listen to music,
surface
level, you gotta listen to it.
Yeah.
And I try to design the music to be like that.
Did you go through a breakup since working on the album?
No.
Well, no, I mean, no. You just said that record was about some breakup shit.
I mean, that's the vibe. You know, when you go through you go through qualms in your relationships. You go through ups and downs, and you feel them shits. And to write something out like da 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 da, you hurt my feelings, or da 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 da, this happened, that happened, makes it more in the moment versus how like I actually felt.
Okay.
So the way I write it is about how I felt, not exactly what was going on.
No, that's fair. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I mean that's fair. You and SZA, I feel like TDE diehards, we always kind of like associate you two as like we're always waiting for new music from SZA and from Isaiah Rashad, right? Yeah. Like we've been waiting. What SZA dropped in 2017? It's been a while since Control dropped, but I feel like
still living. Are they still on the charts? It might be.
It's fucking one of the best albums of the last decade for sure. But I feel like you two are kind of like, obviously there's the core TDE members, and then there's Isaiah Rashad and SZA, and for whatever reason we always have to wait very long times to get music from both of you guys.
We came after like the Four Horsemen or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like
after Black Hippie and
that expectation is pretty high, especially I think for her being like some R&B soul pop type of shit. She knew she had to like diversify herself and not only separate herself from like the boys, but from all the girls. So her ear and her critique for herself is higher. And for me, I just didn't want to sound like them without getting the same respect. So
yeah, I think like when it's J-Rock, Ab-Soul, Q, and Kendrick, and you're like the first rapper I feel like that kind of got brought on after this initial success. No matter what you do, you're gonna get compared to
and critiqued
to the highest level.
Yeah.
And like even with Reason, like Reason, no matter what, like people compare Reason to Kendrick. I'm like, they don't sound the same. Like,
at all, but he be rapping though.
Because he could rap, because, you know what I'm saying? That's not, a lot of people can rap, you know what I mean? But was that like how much of getting over that hump with the TDE shit and just kind of earning those fans where they saw you as Isaiah as opposed to like, hey, is this the new Kendrick? Like how tough was that?
I think that's happening right now.
You think it's finally, I feel like right now, like this album, you're kind of
like,
separate.
It's a separation.
Yeah. Does it feel good?
I don't know what it feel like. I just be seeing it.
What have you seen that's made you feel like finally that moment's come?
It's like the way people seem to appreciate it and the way they come about it. I don't even see people mention them in my comments.
Wait, I'm sorry. What did you say?
I don't see people mention them like in a comparison way in the comments. It's
just where I'm sure previously that probably happened a lot.
Yeah, it was like a lot of Kendrick, sometimes rock, but like that was it. But it was light though back then, so I knew that they had appreciation for my music then, but like now it's like it's just me. So
where like when you go back and like how often do you go back and listen to the Sylvia project? Because I feel like that's still
I listened to it like the day the album came out, like this album.
Did you just go through the whole discography?
Yeah, I saw somebody doing it on Twitter, so I was like, let me just do it.
Yeah, how does that feel to like listening to it now? Because I still feel like that's one of the more underappreciated albums.
I was like, man, I suck.
Nah, you're crazy, bro.
I was like, man, I'm like, this shit's really slow and moody. I hear everything that I used to get critiqued about. I hear it.
Now you hear it.
Yeah.
You feel like finally you're in your pocket, like fully. Like as far as like
I'm just learning. I go up the projects, not like necessarily like the years or the time, because it's about the result. Show and prove type of shit. So I'm like, this is my third project, and like the fourth one should be. I'm like, this is my third one. If I do 6, and I'm keeping the same expectation for myself, the 6 should be like that should be crazy.
Respectfully, how long are we gonna have to wait until the 4th one?
I mean, I was rapping yesterday, so who knows?
I know, but like it's gonna be like 4 years.
I'm better at finishing songs now, so definitely not 4 years. Maybe like who knows?
Maybe next year.
Maybe not.
Maybe 2 years from now.
Maybe not.
That's fair.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's I have no fucking idea.
He got a hard drive full of music, and if they decided to be like, yo, let's put out an album, I'm not gonna necessarily be like, no.
Right. Did you see the new tattoo that Anderson .Paak got? He got tattooed.
Don't
put my shit out. Pretty much, yeah. First of all, pretty wild thing to get tattooed. Yeah. But how do you feel about that? Like if you were to unfortunately pass away,
put an album out.
Don't put an album
music out.
But just not an album.
Don't put an album out. Don't put it under a thing and make it a thing.
Like as a
music out.
Okay, so put it out, just not as a body of work.
Don't edit it. Don't finish the songs. Just put everything out.
Yeah, I think we just saw that with like Pop Smoke, like where the first Pop Smoke album after he passed, you could tell were like songs that he had like actually wanted to come out.
Yeah.
And then this last album, you could tell they threw some shit together.
And it's like, if it's feeding the family, I understand that. But
right.
Respectfully, just put out my scratches, man. On some like, that's some art shit. Seeing how the process goes. People might appreciate that in a different level, like some untitled, unmastered shit.
Right.
Even more raw than that.
You mentioned earlier when you were growing up, there were certain artists that you just kind of like thought you knew everything about. That you have fans like that, a very small core of your fans that feel that way about you. Yeah. Who were those artists for you though, growing up?
Master P, Lupe Fiasco, fucking who else did I know everything about? OutKast, both of them. I don't know why. I used to read all those fucking magazines though.
Yeah, me too. XXL, Source, Blaze, all that shit.
Online, Wikipedia, before niggas knew what Wikipedia was and all that type of shit.
Did you go look up lyrics and shit? Like I used to always go like when the internet first became accessible to me, I would go like there was like those lyric sites you go before Genius.
I would people. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They're still up there.
Then there'd be message boards where you'd like all kinds of like.
Yeah. I would go in there and I realized that people were getting the lyrics wrong. It's when I started listening to songs more than like when I hear a song, I'll be doing the lyrics now. That's how I be listening to it.
So what is your favorite Cast album ever?
Man, it floats between the first one just because I like
Southern Playlist of Cadillac Music.
I like that one because how raw and fresh they were. But I like Aquemini because it seemed like some prime rap shit. But then Stank on You because it like was a glimpse of what they could do.
Right.
And I don't think there's really any songs that much bigger than Bombs Over Baghdad.
I mean, Bombs Over Baghdad is like, I remember learning the lyrics to that song as a kid. Like that's one of those songs I could sing that shit front to back, know every fucking word. Yeah. And it's a hard song to learn. Me and my homies, like we at school trying to figure out the fucking lyrics to that record.
That's how it was, and
that video,
genius writing.
Andre running in the fucking purple grass.
Writing. They were making rap songs that were like songs, composing parts. There's a whole fucking guitar solo in that shit.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it was like some trippy ass like Tom Morello type guitars. Yeah. No, I'm an Aquemini guy though. Yeah. Aquemini to me is like about as good as rap music can get.
I think it's usually just like the last 3 songs.
They could have kept that Mamacita, Papa. They could have kept that off.
Put the last 3 songs on probably all their projects together. That's probably the best album.
You think the last 3 songs on Aquemini?
Every one of the albums from Southern Playlistic, ATLiens, Aquemini, Steak on, yeah. All that shit. And probably the last two, if you take the last 2 or 3 from their solos apiece, if you put them in a list, and I'm going off my own faith, I bet it ain't gonna be like a whole bunch of fucking singles, but it'd probably be like the best shit to listen to.
I think that what's crazy is
Liberation's in there, Stank Love's in there, A Day in the Life of Andre is in there, A Life in a Day. A lot of shit's in there. Even Elevators is in there because they got the '96 remix at the end of that one.
If you count that.
All of it, you got to count it on the track list.
I wish I admit that, like, every time I think OutKast, it makes me miss physical packaging, because I always remember
this shit was tight.
In my CD book, I would have like 4 pages or 4
they
CDs
had a comic, right?
with titties.
They had
the AT Aliens had a little comic built in, but like every CD had a naked girl on it.
Yo, that fuck around might have what got me into comics, bro.
AT Aliens?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, they had like the whole little comic.
That might have got me into comics, bro, because I was like 6.
Yeah, they stopped doing the nudity shit with Love Below and Speaker Box. They broke the
streak.
Yeah, they broke the streak. What about Lupe, who I think is lyrically a fucking alien? Obviously, a couple classics.
Rapping, that Tetsu shit.
Tetsuo and Youth, Murals, 9 minutes straight.
Rapping, that one.
That song Murals is so crazy.
The Cool's the best one though.
You know what's crazy about The Cool is I don't think it aged that well.
Go watch his fire.
I just re-listened to The Cool on a road trip like a few months ago, and there's still some shit on there that's like timeless. But
it's like 20 songs, bro.
There's just some shit on there that didn't age as well as I'd hoped.
You kill 6 and it's still like 12 of them on there. I think it's still good.
I like Food and Liquor, the OG leak though.
Are you really listening to American? Yeah, I am listening to American.
Yo, the American Terrorist 3 that wasn't on an album, that shit is crazy.
I never heard it.
He's like rapping from the perspective of a soldier who's about to like blow up a building or something, and he's like writing his wife. You heard that? Dude, it's fucking crazy. And like he's talking in code and shit to his girl. Like
I can only listen. I honestly only listen to Lupe. I'm finna say Kimbe X. Shout out to Kimbe. I only listen to Lupe when I'm playing a video game.
That's good video game music. I feel like you could appreciate some like hardcore lyrical shit while playing games for some reason a little bit more. Yeah. Like riding around to Lupe is like kind of not, it's
too much thinking for me.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about.
But like at the crib, doing my shit, zone out. I want to hear a good story.
But also,
Sharp Left.
Master P is another one of them artists that like as a kid I loved it. Like I still love a lot of his shit, but like the music didn't age.
Make him say video.
Oh yeah, the basketball. Mystical was so bro. Mystical.
You gotta quit catching charges, bro.
Yeah, he gotta stop raping bitches. Is what he gotta do.
Yeah, he getting accused and getting off.
He got lawyers. Too much. No, he didn't get off the first time.
He didn't.
Nah. But no, Mystical was a fucking alien. I remember when I first heard Mystical, it was like...
if Mystical's a serial rapist, we can't talk about him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, allegedly, right? I think he's a singular rapist for sure,
Sharp
right?
left. We keep making sharp lefts.
I don't know. Was he convicted of that?
Sharp left. Wait.
He did a song. He did a song with Mark Ronson after he got out of jail. I can't imagine.
Mark probably didn't even know.
Well, no, I can't imagine Mark Ronson would do a song with him if he was out here. Really.
I remember when Mark played it for us, and then they didn't.
He was like, "Yo, you'll never guess who I got on the new song, guys. You'll never guess."
He did,
and then he played it.
And Mystical sounded like James Brown, and I was like, "That's tight."
Yeah. He was indicted for sexual battery and extortion.
Sexual battery and extortion.
Sounded like he was pimping.
But was he convicted? But was he convicted? It sounds like pimping. Sounds like pimping. It sounds like pimping and pandering. That's all good. You don't got to put the thing on there. Just you might want to flip that around though. Yeah, there you go.
Good content.
Oh, he was forcing a hairstyle, his hairstylist, and he had some great braids. For 6 years.
He was doing what?
Forcing his hairstylist to perform sex acts. Well, you know, Mystical's hair was on point though.
What you mean though?
She did a good job. His braids were.
This is
Listen, I don't want you to. We're not trying to get you canceled, Isaiah Rashad, today.
I'm not gonna get canceled.
No, I appreciate. This guy said. He said, "My name's Bennett, and I'm not in it." I'm over here. You know,
I'm over here trying to figure it out too. It's like
what the fuck, man? Oh man. Do you have any sort of update on SZA's project, or like have you heard a lot of her music she's sitting on? Can you give us any sort of window into like what that's sounding like? Can we get this or that? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it?
I don't know, bro.
I mean, you haven't heard any unreleased music?
Bro, no, bro. Like 2 songs, bro.
Okay, how are the 2 songs? You've heard some.
How you think SZA has a bad 2 songs?
No, I don't think SZA's got any bad music.
I think she's trying to figure out from a pile of gold which one's the shiniest.
That's fair.
You fuck with? You feel me? Sometimes I want to do the LeBron thing, but I'm not athletic enough.
Yeah, who is your basketball team being from Tennessee?
I would love if the Grizzlies won, but I'm more of like, I think a lot of teams fail because of the coaching staffs. Mm-hmm. I'm not a basketball expert, so I'm more of a player.
So who's your guys?
Giannis. For the past 8 years, I'm not new to this.
You're true to
I
this.
say, yeah, Giannis, Kawhi. I fuck with Chris Paul. Sad it had to be him.
I'm a Suns fan, so let's not even.
You know what I'm saying? KD, love Russell. As of late, new Russell fan. Dame, Steph, all this shit.
And you didn't say LeBron.
Typical. LeBron, he gets enough praise.
Okay,
And he hasn't played my song. I've been waiting for him to pull
where he's in the back of the car and he starts singing your shit.
He ain't fucking with me.
He listens to everything. LeBron James has like the most like eclectic taste in rap music. It'd be like Future one day and the next day it's like fucking Griselda album cut.
You feel me?
Yeah, it's like
it's his kid. He's just playing his kid's playlist probably.
You think it's his? You think his
He's
kid?
35.
I don't think his kid's
He's
listening
not
to Benny
old.
the Butcher. I'm about to say I'm 34, bro. Relax.
You that young, Kev?
I'm 34.
I thought you was super seasoned.
How old do you think I am, bro?
I thought you was like as old as Taco Bell.
Do I look that old?
You be hanging with some old niggas, bro.
Who do I hang with that's old besides him? He's really old. That's one of my best friends. He's an old man. But who do I hang out with that's old?
I just think when I think of you, I think of like
Old people.
You
think of old heads.
like a generation before me in rap. And I'm like,
you think like, oh look, he's like a quasi Rosenberg over here on the West Coast, just an old rap guy.
Maybe.
Yeah, listen, I wouldn't say I'm how old are you? 33?
30.
30? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to do the math on the T-Pain thing you said
just
earlier.
older. You just a little bit older than me. I'm saying, but you seasoned, bruh.
So are you.
But you've been doing this way longer than me.
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing this shit since I was like
So I thought you were
17.
older. I don't say you look old.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate the...
I thought you was a young looking old dude. Now you're an old looking young dude. So I get it.
I'm not sure I've ever felt more attacked on my show. And I don't know if I'm supposed to take this as a good or a bad thing. He's like, I thought you were a young looking old dude. Now you're an old looking young dude.
It makes sense.
Listen, it is what it is, man. You know.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah. Hey, him. He's like fucking 50. But you know, black don't crack, respectfully.
It don't if you work out.
Filipinos and black people age better than anyone.
If you work out.
Yeah. Like I know Filipino people who are like 50 that look like they're 19.
If you work out.
If you eat good.
And kind of if you work out.
Do you work out? You keep saying that.
I'm back to it. I came from the gym like this.
So like you're fucking, you're in the gym.
No, I'm just running cardio.
That's it.
Stage right now. I'm not ready for weights, and I don't want to hurt myself.
What about diet? Do you have any weird? Are you like a vegan or anything?
Everything that they tell you I should go light on, I don't eat. I don't eat a whole bunch of bread. I don't eat any dairy really.
So anything people are like, yo, don't do that. You're just like, I'm good on that.
Shit that I don't eat anyway.
So what's your bread substitute?
It's not that I don't eat bread. It's like I only eat bread like when I eat like a sandwich. Like
have you ever tried? They have like cauliflower crust and like.
I'm not trying to be like that. My intake of regular shit is so like at a healthy place that I don't.
What's the worst thing you've eaten this month? Like, what was that meal that you felt like shit afterwards? You're like, God damn it. For me, it was like In-N-Out like 3 days ago.
Jollibee.
Jollibee?
Like 30 minutes ago.
That's the Filipino spot, right? Yeah.
I still fuck with Jollibee. Just today, Didn't hit like it was supposed to.
You know, I never had it, and
Crispy as chicken. Crispier
well,
than KFC.
my producer's Filipino, and he does a lot of stuff with this Filipino agency, and they delivered Jollibee to my house.
It's fine.
It wasn't good, but I don't know if it was because it was in the car, and this lady made a bunch of
eat that Jollibee right there.
yeah, and it also kind of threw me off because it was spaghetti and fried chicken.
You gotta give it a go.
And I opened it and I just looked at it. I took a bite of the chip. I'm like, nah, this ain't it, champ. I'm like, yeah.
It's Filipino. Is it really spaghetti or is it dry ramen with like tomato sauce? Think about it.
So because it's Filipino, it might be dry ramen.
Do they eat spaghetti? Stereotypically?
I don't know what kind of racist shit we're getting into here.
What do white people eat?
Bologna?
I knew that. So I'm gonna guess that I don't think niggas just killing spaghetti over there.
They're not killing spaghetti. They're killing dry ramen.
Over here.
What's the fake egg rolls Filipinos like? Lumpia's fire. Well, you know what I mean. It's like
Every time I just dabble and have a question, you jump full into it.
I love lumpia. E40 has a lumpia company. E40 has an everything company.
Shout out to E40.
E40 has every type of liquor, and he's slinging Filipino food. Hey, interrupting the interview to tell you about our good friends at OddSocks. Now, as you can see, I always have my OddSocks on, baby. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, shout out to my bony ass knees. Listen, go to OddSocksOfficial.com. They got all the craziest socks. These are the outsiders. You know what I'm saying? They got SpongeBob. They got Cheech and Chong. Listen, Breaking Bad, Godfather, whatever you need, they got it. And now they have underwear. That's right. You can get your OddSocks underwear. The boxer briefs are the best underwear that you could ever fit on your ass. Trust me when I tell you. These are Chucky draws. What you know about top ramen underwear, all right? Go to OddSocksOfficial.com. Use the keyword Bootleg Kev at checkout, and you'll save 20% off of your order. Underwear, masks, slippers, socks, whatever you need, they got it. OddSocksOfficial.com. Keyword Bootleg Kev at checkout. Save 20%. Gotta respect it. Or would you get into any sort of entrepreneurial situations where, maybe, some Isaiah Rashad French fries or something? Or
Bro, if I could have something like a Waffle House out here, that'd be great.
Do you miss that about being in the South? Like just
I like the quality of stuff in LA.
Mm-hmm.
I like the convenience and the familiarity and stuff in the South. So I probably try to make something that tastes a little bit better than Waffle House, but price about the same.
Yeah, because like low key in LA, like as much. I mean, how about this? Low key in the Valley, because I don't want to say LA, because you'll be able to find a taco truck in LA. But like the all night food is very.
It's over about 9 o'clock, baby.
It's weak. You would think there'd be the ill fire, like it's 4 a.m, we're leaving the studio. In Arizona, we have a place called Filiberto's, where it's just burritos all night. And out in the South, and then we also have Waffle House in Arizona. But like Waffle House is like. Fucking.
See, I'm the type. I used to be the type that I would travel for that.
For Waffle House?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I go cross state lines for that.
Waffle House is amazing, and it's very slept on. And you know what I like about Waffle House is when you're really shit faced and you're at a Waffle House. It's like 3:30 in the morning.
See, I feel you. That's cool.
You conversate with the people cooking your food
because you drunk.
But they're right there. They're making it.
My memory come from like going with my grandma when I was like I didn't realize. You know when you don't realize you're poor. And then you go in and do shit with your grandparents or your parents, and like Waffle House was just fire. Then I grew up and realized this shit's like $7. Right. And I'm like, that shit is high memory quality for $7, baby. Yeah,
when I was a kid, I used to think Applebee's was like the fanciest restaurant in the world.
I mean, you just got bad taste.
And then no, because it was like the shit. You see the commercial. My parents was taking me to fucking
Applebee's trash.
No, wait, I'm not saying that. I'm saying
Chili's was good.
I would think of Applebee's and Chili's as like
fried steak.
I always would think Applebee's and Chili's were like expensive restaurants. Like, man, I hope
Chili's
one day I get to go to Applebee's.
Chili's when they still had country fried steak, I'd take it as a 2.5 star. Applebee's is for sure a 2 star.
But Applebee's, you get the 2 for $20.
That's why okay. If it's fire, I don't need a coupon.
It's not a coupon. It's just what they do.
It's basically a coupon.
You ever? Yeah, I mean, you're a certain point in life when you take a girl on a date.
It's a coupon that everybody
Applebee's, 2 for $20.
It's a coupon that everybody gets regardless.
And they get half price appetizers during happy hour at Applebee's. By the way, there's no Applebee's anywhere near here. It pisses me off. It's frustrating.
Are you plugging them?
I kind of am. Free plug. Cut the check, Applebee's. God damn it. What's your biggest vice in 2021, man? Buying pants. What kind of pants?
Cargo, some like, I don't know, Ralph Lauren and shit. I try not to go into some like super bag, but I just like nice pants.
So you're just a pants guy.
Mm-hmm. When you see me,
you always got some nice pants on.
Every time.
Nice.
Shoes? I'm not a shoe guy. Pants guy.
It's a special kind of guy.
I like my pants.
Lupe was a pants guy.
Taste.
Lupe, I remember Lupe put me on all kinds of Japanese denim and shit.
Pants are okay. The rest of it don't really matter.
You know, that's the opposite kind of take too, because most people don't care about their pants.
It's me and the pants. It's me and the pants. Think about it. And the rest is just an accessory, but I need the pants.
What's the most expensive pair of pants you've purchased?
I don't know. Maybe like $600, $700. I don't be doing that type of shit. I'm a regular dude. Like, I'd like to dress like the manager.
Would you go to H&M and buy pants?
Like rappers. Huh?
Would you go to H&M and buy pants?
Were they paying me to be there?
No. Like if you were like, hey, look, I need some pants. Oh, look, there's an H&M. Let me go get some because they're like $19.
I usually have pants.
They have pants there.
I'm a little bougie.
So, but you just said you weren't that kind of guy.
No. I'm not above it. But would I?
So you're bougie, but not bougie.
Would I if I didn't have to? Yeah.
Okay.
See?
What kind of pants right now? What do we got?
Right now, I got on some Grizzlies shorts.
Oh, you got the yeah. I saw that. The Vancouver Grizzlies, by the way.
I was at the gym.
Those are great shorts. Quite possibly top 5 uniform ever.
Yeah, until you play it on 2K too much and you just kind of hate seeing it.
That's like your go-to on 2K? John Morant and fucking Valanciunas?
It's like if Russ could shoot a little better.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because Ja's not a great shooter. He's better than Russ, though.
But that's crazy, right? Just think about that.
No,
Russ could shoot
10%
10% better than what he shot. Where's he at in the league right now?
I mean, there's been years where he's shot 10% better than he shot the last few years when he was the MVP.
But you're always looking at that motherfucker go up like, is it finna fall?
Oh, yeah. Same thing with John Morant. John Morant is disrespectful to his body. Like, I'm afraid he's going to, like, have, like, a moment where he fucks himself up because he has no fear. Just jumping over motherfuckers.
He be flying, but when he shoot, it's like, I ain't got to look. It's going to drop. Maybe, if it's open. I know scenarios is going to drop. But Russ, though, if he ain't in a rhythm, it's like you just watching it. And it's scary, dog. He's like playing with your heart.
Is it like, what is kind of the correlation in relation to like Memphis and Chattanooga as far as like distance and
4 hours
culture?
away.
4 hours, so it's pretty far.
I've been to Memphis like 4 times in my life.
I'm about to say Atlanta's closer.
Yeah.
Because Memphis kind of got rap music right now.
I love Memphis music.
Yeah, Memphis is on fire right now.
Yeah, but like I ain't got no relatives out there. I ain't really no reason to go.
Did like Memphis' scene bleed over to like you like what you liked and what you kind of came up listening to? Obviously 3 6 Mafia.
I mean, it was all I was listening to though. I didn't go there often. We only went there for what's this shit called, Matt? Tulusa?
Tuscaloosa.
No.
Isn't that a college town?
No. It's right outside of Memphis. We only went there to gamble. So I went to Memphis like 4 times. But with my parents and grandparents, I went through that motherfucker like
all the time.
Yeah,
just driving.
They were always fucking gambling. Not my parents, but my.
Are you a big gambler?
No, my uncles and aunts and shit.
Are you a gambler?
Nope.
No. Never.
Nope.
Someone put you in a casino. You got 100. Let's say that they give you $100.
Your money?
Yeah, it's my money. I say, hey, look, I'm gonna give you $100, but you got to gamble it. What are you gonna play?
Yeah, I'll run it.
What are you gonna run on though? You gonna go to blackjack?
I don't know. It don't matter to me. If it's some shit that I didn't earn, I might throw that shit away. I might give it away. And I feel that way about my possessions. It's kind of crazy. The only thing I really keep is shit that like I covet. Sadly.
What do you covet? What's the most random thing at your house that you're like, this shit?
I lost my Rolex, so nothing.
Wow. Yeah. How do you lose a Rollie?
Weird night.
Bad night?
Not bad night. I never have a bad night. Weird night.
Uber? Did you leave it like at a chick's house or?
Weird night.
Can you tell us a story?
Weird night.
Let's end the interview with the night of you losing your Rolex.
Night.
No. Tell what the fuck happened, man. Was there midgets involved? Did you go to the Claremont Lounge in Atlanta and some old lady took it off you? What happened?
Man, I hear about that, man. You heard about that fucking weird night?
Which one? The one you explain. I've had some weird nights. I had some really weird nights. But
let's talk about it.
No, you tell me is yours, and then.
I mean,
most of my weird nights have been off of edibles, dabs, or shrooms.
Yours sounds way more interesting than mine.
So what happened to yours? What happened with you?
Weird night.
I love it.
Was your Rolex stolen or did you lose it?
Anybody gonna steal shit from me?
So they didn't. I mean, you never know. You hear.
Anybody gonna steal shit?
Okay, so it didn't get so you misplaced it.
Yeah, some shit.
You have a hunch on where you misplaced it this weird night?
Somewhere.
Okay, this is being very vague.
Whoever finds it, keep it.
Is there any sort of markings that will is there like a fucking, like a TDE logo etched into the back?
I get that shit engraved on
Of course not. He said, "Who the fuck? I don't know the fucking label."
Hey, if your girl gets you tattooed on it, and instead of tattooing your name, she gets your logo tattooed. What do you think? Do you think she's not sure about like how it might happen, or do you think she just likes your logo more than your name?
I have no fucking idea. That's an interesting. I don't. So you're asking if my girl were to get my logo instead of my name?
Yeah.
Would that mean she likes? Walk me down this path again.
Do you think, like, to me, like, would you think it's like she's willing to take that risk, but not willing to sign on that line right there?
I mean, I'm married, so.
So she signed your name?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. One, it's kind of ghetto to get your name tattooed. Not to say ghetto. No offense to anybody who has.
And my wife's name's on my finger. Damn. So I'm ghetto. All
I
right,
got
continue.
a name behind my ear.
Continue. We've already established I'm ghetto, but continue. I go to Applebee's.
No, that's kind of corny.
I go to Applebee's. This is corny?
Yes, that's corny nigga shit.
Wow.
Man, that's like you had to have known her since like you were a freshman in college.
Oh, we got married.
When?
We got married 4 years ago.
Okay, how long you known her?
Probably like 6 years.
How long you had the tat?
I got the tat before we got married.
How long ago was it?
Listen, man, fuck you, Isaiah Rashad. Damn. Wait, whose name's tattooed on your fucking head?
Taylor.
Who's that?
It's not even business. It was a weird night.
Wait, you have a female's name tattooed on you?
Who cares?
Oh, no, I mean, you calling me corny. We're both corny then. That shit's closer to your face. I could cover this shit up.
Nobody sees that. I see that. I can't get that out of my
You can't
head
see
now.
it unless I show it to you.
You gotta hide that.
I put fucking gloves on, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I could tape my shit up like a goddamn basketball player. You know what I'm saying? Your shit is behind your ear. You got to grow your hair out, bro. Where's Taylor at now?
Grow your hair out?
Where's Taylor at now?
Over there.
Oh, is that Taylor?
Yeah.
Oh, is that you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then you get the pass. I was going to say, is Taylor around right now? Well, she's in the same room. So you're not... Is that corny that he got your name tattooed on him?
I was fucking like 22 though.
So you guys have been...
You're like
34. I'm a grown ass.
24. I was 24.
First of all, I'm a grown ass man. I knew what I was doing.
Okay, grown ass bad decisions.
Second of all,
You gonna go buy a Yukon too?
you and I are both the same.
Like, come on.
You and I are both the same. We each have a tattoo of the girl we're still with. Right?
You got married. Like, you didn't have to do that. Like,
She's waiting for you to marry her.
This was the hold off.
She just said she's waiting. She said, you right.
This gave me like 3 years that you didn't have.
All right, so since we're doing this,
It's like what?
so you did this as like a here. This is like a hey, look,
I'm
this will buy me 3 more years until I have to.
But I ain't ready to jump off the porch.
So that was 8 years ago.
This was like 4 years ago.
Okay, but you've known your girl for how long?
I kiss 6 tomorrow, so like 7, 8.
So when you gonna pop the question, man? I'm just putting you on the spot.
I'm 30, and I wasn't getting married before I turned 30. I'm not.
So now you're technically in marriage territory because now you're 30.
I got an album. I got like another album.
That's a wild. Knowing you're not gonna get married till he's fucking 40. He said, yeah, after the next album, which is gonna be in 2029. This guy's the fucking Chattanooga Dr. Dre making his weight like it's a fucking detox every 4 years. Jesus. Well, Taylor,
Turned the tables.
shout out to Taylor. She's here. Your lovely wife. She's wife by proxy. You know, 8 years. That's wife. She's your wife.
I always hit you with it, but I'll let you go.
That's all good. Listen,
It's cool, man.
hey, listen. We're both in amazing relationships, and we both have our amazing women's name tattooed on our body.
I think the only thing that would make this more interesting is if Reason was here and Pat Oswalt.
Yeah, reason. I mean, I don't know what made that. I mean,
We just have to do it.
okay.
Me, you, Reason.
Can we eat shrooms first?
Yes.
All right. It's a deal. It's a doozy. Isaiah
You do it
Rashad.
for real?
I'm down. Yeah. Tell
Me, Pat
that
Oswalt
50-year-old
song.
motherfucker over there to set it up.
No, I want you to find Pat Oswalt.
Who's Pat Oswalt? Is that the comedian dude?
You look just like him.
Oh, that's the fat comedian guy, right?
You're not fat, and you're not that.
But you
funny.
know who I'm talking about. He's like a comedian, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like one of those.
He's a legend.
Well, he's like one of those faces you see in shows, and you're like, I know that guy because he's in everything.
Famous? He's like somebody famous?
Yeah, but I'm saying he's like a guy who I can never
famous?
think of his name.
You only know like 6 famous niggas' names. The rest of them are just faces.
Yeah, so he's famous.
You know, George Clooney,
Yep.
Brad Pitt. Took you a long time to distinguish Brad Pitt from Leonardo DiCaprio.
Nah,
Leonardo had to do some shit.
I don't think so. I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think I did.
At first, I was like, damn,
Maybe because they're
why
white.
Brad Pitt and-
Maybe because they're white. I don't like they always say white people look the same,
They do.
and then you talk to like some people and they say, hey, all Asian people look the same. I think because I'm
It's
with
racist.
no. I'm saying that like I think everybody
Double
has
standards crazy.
everyone has had somebody say that a race everyone looks the same,
They do.
and since I'm a part of that race of,
I'm blind, so like
of Brad Pitt and Leo, I can distinguish that they're different people.
Them niggas kind of look the same.
What?
Like sometimes
Leo looks like a
they
child.
look related.
Leo looks like an old ass child.
Leo just started looking like an adult.
Exactly.
He's like 50.
Brad Pitt is like a seasoned like Brad Pitt. I think is like
Brad
a guy.
Pitt's like 60.
Yeah, but I think Brad Pitt's the kind of guy who like Leo. I think clean cut. I think Brad Pitt could have BO and it'd be all right. If that makes sense.
You
Like-
want to smell him?
No, like if I sat next to Brad Pitt and he had like a natural aroma, I'd be like, yeah, it's Brad Pitt. Of course he
You
doesn't
gonna
shower.
tell somebody about it?
Yeah, but yeah, I fucking sat next to Brad Pitt. That motherfucker smelled kind of funky, but it was Brad Pitt. So like Matthew McConaughey just said to
Would you bag the air?
no. Matthew McConaughey just said he hasn't wore deodorant in 35 years. Matthew McConaughey, another white guy, they all look the same.
He's
yeah.
the one whose nose isn't broke, right?
I don't know. He's got a.
He's the one who look like Owen Wilson,
But with
it's
the-
like with the not broke nose. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love him. Just started appreciating.
You see how you're saying all white people look the same?
They're variants. You watch Loki?
Of course.
It's like,
Owen Wilson said
it's
it.
like we're watching the multiverse. Like the first time it broke was with white people. The only person that doesn't have a variant is like Angelina Jolie. That's why I'm pretty sure she's not all the way white,
She might be an alien too.
or she might be Angelina Jolie.
Her dad's John Voight, so that might have. He's a weird guy.
Is that really her dad, or did
Or did she just come out Angelina Jolie?
If someone told you she was an alien, like, would you be surprised?
No.
Yeah. She's one of the ones. Like, I think if Elon Musk was an alien, I'd be like,
I
yeah.
think she hates everybody, and she just participates.
She has some weird, interesting relationships with Billy Bob
What
Thornton.
relationship?
Billy Bob
had-
Thornton?
They had relationships with her. I mean, you gotta look at who's out on top right now. We don't talk about him.
Who's on top?
I ain't watched that fucking Santa Claus movie in a couple years. No disrespect to him.
What? Bad Santa? Oh, Bad Santa. Oh yeah, no. I mean, Billy
Actually, fuck that. I'm dissing that nigga, and that first season of Fargo, crazy.
Fire. First of all, the first like 3 seasons of Fargo were crazy.
But he was like the devil.
Yes. People don't. You see, you fuck with Fargo on FX. Not a lot of people do. And the Coen Brothers, my favorite directors ever.
Fucking unicorn, bro.
Do you love The Big Lebowski?
Yeah, bro.
It's my favorite movie ever.
The dude, bro.
Yeah, it's my favorite movie ever.
Was my nigga from Armageddon, was he actually in the movie?
Which one?
He's the guy, he's like the only white guy in Hollywood who, if he fixed his teeth, would get less roles.
Oh, Steve Buscemi. Yeah, Steve Buscemi. Yeah,
It's like he keeps his teeth like that.
Yeah, he's
for
Donnie.
roles.
He's Donnie. Yeah, he's Donnie. Yeah.
He's dying right now?
No, his name's Donnie in The Big Lebowski.
Oh.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
I'm like,
No.
what, bro?
Yo, Buscemi though is like one of my favorite actors ever.
He's dying. He's dying. I'm like,
He's another guy who's like
was he in there? Was he in that movie? You ever heard of that theory? Was he actually in it?
He was in The Big
No, was he Like, was his character there? There's a theory that he was never there. Like, that he's a part of, like, one of them niggas' imagination.
Oh, you're talking about in the movie. Within the movie that Donnie never was real.
There's a theory that
that Donnie's character in that movie, his character was actually a figment of their imagination the whole time.
he was Neil, right? Was that his name?
His name was Donnie.
No, the other one.
It was Walter.
Walter. He was part of Walter's imagination.
I could see that.
Shut
the fuck up, Donnie! You're out of your element. Yeah, like
they were saying like the dude doesn't directly talk to him really in the movie at all.
It's always Walter yelling at Donnie.
And that's why I started getting into the Coen Brothers.
But then
movie.
they spread Donnie's ashes out of the Folgers can at the end, and the ashes go into the dude's mouth. So I think Donnie was real.
They say like Donnie died.
He did die.
Like in the movie.
Yes, you watch it.
Like that before or something.
No, he dies
Wait.
He literally dies in the movie.
I think that's what is. No, there's an explanation about that out there. There's an explanation to it.
Because he talked about Fargo and Coen Brothers. The Coen Brothers did Fargo.
It's something about,
my favorite directors.
It was something about the dude was just participating with Walter doing some crazy shit. There was no Donnie.
I mean, I'd love to talk to the Coen Brothers and figure out if that is a thing. I almost went to Lebowski Fest one year, but
that's kind of corny.
I had to draw the line in the sand there.
I fuck with That's how I got into it. You like Burn After Reading?
Of course, Burn After Reading is a slept-on movie.
Fucked up.
Slept-on.
It's
movie.
like the dumb. It's like when I say the dumbest, like in a good way.
It's
one
stupid.
Of the dumbest movies I've ever seen in my life.
It's random as fuck.
Brad Pitt's dumb as fuck.
Yes.
Like
wearing that fucking with his fucking headphones.
Yeah, that's like. I guess that's one of the times where I guess I realized maybe that's like a movie that actors would like to watch.
No Country for Old Men that shows range of those guys, man.
What's that?
They're saying Walter is struggling with PTSD after his service from Vietnam War, and Donnie perhaps is a friend that Walter lost and is now able to see.
I could see. Obviously Walter has PTSD.
Obviously.
My dog's name is Lebowski.
You saw the fucking cowboy come back in the last season or season before last of Fargo?
The Chris Rock season I didn't watch.
I
watched the first 2 or 3. So I watched the last season I watched was the one where they accidentally killed the girl in the lady, or they accidentally killed the girl in the garage and then put her in the freezer.
Killed the dude.
Or the dude. Yeah, it was the dude. And then
that was like the second season.
I think it might have been season
3.
That was 3.
3, yeah, with the couple.
Yes, with the couple. That's the last one I watched.
Crazy.
Yeah. Season 1 is crazy though.
That's what it was. No, which was that the one with the? Yeah,
it's called a fucking podcast, Brandon. Welcome. You fuck.
The brothers. It's when it's 2 brothers.
Yeah, the brothers.
They play the twins, and one of them got the girlfriend. That's the one. Like that's the season.
And he comes and so
the cowboy from the Big Lebowski or something is in. They like redo the same scene. It's like making everything connect. Like Fargo's in the Big Lebowski.
Like they're in the same universe. I like that.
And Burn After Reading.
What are you watching right now though?
Nothing's good.
You know what's fire is Succession.
Suicide Squad was
Succession and Suicide Squad is fire.
I watched Inception over again and tried to figure it out.
Inception? Yeah. I still have not watched it. I feel like I got someone kind of ruined it for me, and I was like, all right, I'm good. I don't need my brain.
I'm trying to figure out if I ever want to meet, if I would ever like be able to speak to Christopher Nolan, because I'm like, this shit to be on your mind.
Like, what's wrong with him?
Or like, what's wrong with us? And I'm like, that must be a long.
Who's your favorite director?
Because I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
Tahiti Waikiki. Is that how you say his name? Tahiti Waikiki. He did fucking Thor. The second one. He did Ragnarok. He did what we do in the dark, the vampire movie.
I haven't seen that, but Ragnarok was amazing.
What else he did? He did Jojo's Rabbit. He did Jojo Rabbit.
I haven't seen that one.
He's like quirky, but like deep as fucking serious.
I mean, I loved Ragnarok. Ragnarok's like probably my 3rd or 4th favorite Marvel movie. So.
He's probably my favorite director, or whoever wrote Forrest Gump. Whoever did Forrest Gump.
I don't even know
who did that.
Who did? Was that?
That's the shit
Ron
you
Howard?
never asked, right? Who did Forrest Gump? Tom Hanks get way too much credit for that shit. No offense.
What do you think Tom Hanks thinks about Chet Hanks signing to Soulja Boy's SODMG?
He probably, as a parent,
You think he's proud?
probably.
Like, man, you on, bro. You signed with Big Drake.
When you work your whole life, I think if you work your whole life to create a pathway for your kids to do whatever they want to do. And
He's
your
literally,
son
yeah.
wants to be a rapper and speak patois and all that shit. Like, did he get that shit off? Like, the Thanksgiving's gonna be better than last year. He got his SOD chain.
He got an SODMG.
Like Tom or Soulja Boy, first rapper to be in Tom Hanks' house. It's coming. That photo is coming.
Oh, that'd be great. Well, listen,
Is his album coming out?
I hope not. Who, Soulja Boy's? Yeah. Soulja Boy's album's coming out. Shout out to him. I'm doing a party with him tomorrow in Phoenix.
Why did I just know you knew Soulja Boy?
I know his manager. I mean, he's been here.
Link me with Soulja Boy. I want to meet him. He's a hero.
Huh?
Link me with Soulja Boy. I want to meet him. He's a hero. I just want to say I met Soulja Boy.
That's easy.
I want to be the first Isaiah Rashad to meet Soulja Boy.
You'll be the first Isaiah Rashad to meet Soulja Boy. Quite. I don't know. You think that's a pretty common name, Isaiah Rashad? Somewhere in the world, there's. I mean, it feels like there's a lot of Isaiah
People name their
Rashad.
kids after me.
Any tattoo?
That sound kind of fucked up, but I'm like kind of like I was like riding my own dick.
Little flex.
It's just tight.
Do you have any people out there getting your name tattooed or anything?
People tattoo my face on them.
Is that weird?
Logos and shit.
Is that shit weird?
I don't understand why anybody would tattoo the Sun's Tirade like the little guy floating
Yeah.
on them.
That's kind of fire. That's like different than like your face.
You gotta. It's tattoos I know that they're gonna cover up one day.
But your actual face is tattooed on people's bodies?
Like a cartoon version of my face. Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, because I would like talk to Tech Nine, and I'd always be like, "Bro, how do you deal with all these juggalos with like your face tattooed on their body next to like the Hatchet Man?" You know, it's just part of the world, I guess. You know,
It is. I'd just be like, you're gonna regret that.
probably. Well, we're not going to regret our tattoos of our lovely women's names that we have.
I'm trying to get it like I'm trying to get a ring so I can like low key cover this up. I feel like this was a decision. You got to swap them out.
So you get okay. Let's figure this out. So
I made this decision when I was like 25.
this decision was, hey,
I'm gonna
look,
put her logo over there.
instead of us getting married, instead of us getting married, here's your name tattooed on me so you know it's real. Once we get married, I'm covering the tattoo up.
Yeah,
Because you got the ring.
swap them out.
Swap. It's like either or. Which one would you want?
It's contracts. It's like right now we're rolling over at 30. We're rolling over in the free agency. And we're thinking about we're restricted free agents though, so we're thinking about what the rest of our lives are gonna be like the next 10, 15.
You think so? Non-married people are restricted free agents if they're in relationships.
They're unrestricted free agents.
No, but
when you're going through those life barriers and you come in when you walk into a room and niggas is like, oh, so y'all ain't married, that lets you know that you're in restricted free agency. It could go down any day, but it also be pretty straight. You still playing, season still going on,
So you're in restricted free agency.
but it's like because we got to make that decision type of shit. It's never gonna be anybody's decision.
It's
That's
kind
how
of
I
like
look at it.
Kawhi.
It's not. Nobody's gonna know.
Kawhi, everyone knew he was going to resign with the Clippers, right? You know what I mean?
Did they though?
I mean,
Them last couple of days was like,
nah, everybody's cap space was eaten up. Nobody had any fucking money to sign him.
yeah, it seemed like it's like you look out there, it's like, yeah, it's like if you leave her, that's like the only bad bitch out there.
That's interesting. He's one of your favorite players because he's just a very boring guy. Not boring to watch
He
necessarily.
has a very good taste in music. I didn't even know it.
Does he?
He's a good curator. We had a good time. You know what I'm saying? I think anything beyond that, we got to pay to be here.
There it is.
And so,
Isaiah Rashad.
yeah.
The new album is out. The tour is going to be crazy. 48 cities, man.